Right. Let's dive into a problem that, let's be honest, burns out so many good leaders. It's that feeling that you have to do everything yourself. Today, we're going to explore a really powerful shift in thinking, how to go from being a reactive firefighter to a proactive architect of your business.
Does this sound familiar? You're the leader, you've got a team, but it feels like you're the one running around with the only fire hose in a city that's constantly on fire. It's this deep down feeling that if you step away, even for a second, everything will just stop.
And that feeling, right there, that is the trap of the hero leader. You know, the person who has to swoop in and save the day every day. It feels essential, maybe even a little bit heroic. But what we're about to see is that it's a dead-end street that leads to your burnout and your company hitting a wall. Okay, so what does this hero leader trap actually look like in the real world? Let's play out a scenario that I'm willing to bet feels very, very familiar to a lot of you. So picture this. There is a deadline breathing down your neck. Your team goes on break. 5 minutes go by, then 10. Now it's been 15 minutes, longer than it should have been. You can feel that frustration bubbling up inside you, right? The clock is ticking. So what do? The hero leader basically has two go-to moves. So when faced with a situation like this, the hero leader almost always goes down one of two roads. And what's so interesting is that they look like total opposites, but they're really just two sides of the same coin, and they both lead to the exact same problem. Okay, so on one hand, you've got path number one, the passive silence. You don't say a word, you just walk over, grab a tool, and start doing the work yourself. The message you're sending, though, it's crystal clear. You guys are unreliable, so I have to do it. Then there's path number two, the direct confrontation. You lose your cool. What is going on here? Let's go, people. And yeah, they'll move, but now they're moving out of fear. And here's the kicker. Neither of those reactions actually fixes anything. They're like a silent poison. The passive route makes your team feel resentful and just kills their drive. The aggressive route, well, that just creates an atmosphere of fear and destroys any trust you might have had. In both cases, the real problem, the root cause, is completely ignored. And this gets to the heart of why the hero leader fails. They haven't learned how to use something called constructive conflict. They either run from disagreement or they handle it with a hammer. They just don't see that a problem like this is actually a golden opportunity, a chance to grow and make the whole system better. But there is a much, much better way. So let's pivot. Enough about the problem. It's time to stop thinking like a firefighter and start adopting the architect's mindset. And this right here is the fundamental shift. It's everything. The firefighter just reacts to what's right in front of them, the symptom, in this case, the long break. The architect, on the other hand, looks right past that and asks a totally different question. What's broken in our system that's causing this to happen? You see how that changes the whole game? You go from a place of blame, why were these people so lazy, to a place of genuine curiosity. What is the situation trying to teach me about our process? It's a huge leap from accusation to investigation. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually put it into practice? Well, it's not just a fuzzy mindset. It's a real step-by-step process. So let's walk through the architect's 4-step manual for turning these moments of frustration into fuel for building a better system. We're going to break down these 4 steps. It starts with transforming yourself. Then it's about forging truly high-performance teams. Third, we'll get into mastering that key skill of constructive conflict. And finally, you install a system so these things keep getting better on their own. So, step 1, it all starts with you. Before you say a word, before you do anything, you have to get your own head right. You've got to catch that flash of anger and consciously decide to turn it into curiosity. Make this your default assumption. The problem is in the process, not the people. Okay, next up, you bring your team into the conversation. But you're not there to point fingers, you're there to solve a puzzle together. You ask something like, hey guys, I know our goal is X, but it feels like we're getting bogged down. What do you think is slowing us down? You see, you're giving them the authority to solve the problem. Maybe the equipment is faulty. Maybe it's 100 degrees and they need a smarter way to rotate brakes. You don't have to have the answer. You just have to empower them to find it. Now this is where the magic really happens. You use this problem as a catalyst for innovation. You pull the team together for a quick lessons learned chat. Just ask 3 simple questions. Okay, team, what worked today? What didn't work? And what are we going to do differently tomorrow? In that moment, you transform them from people who feel like they're being watched to people who are co-creating the very system they work in. And finally, you close the loop. You make sure this fire can't start again. You install a simple, solid process. Maybe it's a quick 5-minute huddle every morning just to get on the same page. The goal is never to just try harder. It's to build a system that makes success almost inevitable. You have to remember, a great system will beat heroic effort every single time. So, we've laid out the problem of the firefighter, and we've walked through the 4 steps of the architect. Now it all comes down to a choice, your choice. And to make it really clear, let's frame it as a little bet.
I'll bet you $100 if you keep going down that hero leader path, I can tell you almost exactly where you're going to be in 1 year's time. But if you choose to become the architect, well, your future is going to look radically different. Just look at the 2 paths. 1 year from now, the hero leader is more burnt out than ever, their team is less motivated, and the business has flatlined. The architect's future, you have a team that runs itself. You have a company that can actually grow and scale beyond you, and you finally get the freedom that you probably started this whole thing for in the first place. And look, this isn't just some nice theory. History proves it. Toyota became a global powerhouse because its leaders were obsessed with building systems that empowered everyone. On the flip side, Calzado Canada, which was once a huge shoe company, basically collapsed because its founder just couldn't let go of that heroic centralized control. The stakes are absolutely real. So, we'll end with this question for you to think about. The choice really is yours. You can keep buying bigger fire hoses, running from one crisis to the next, forever exhausted, or you can decide to put down the hose, pick up the blueprints, and start building something that's designed to last. Which one is it going to be?